From the Mullen Center following UMass basketball's 72-62 win over Georgia, it's the UMass men's basketball postgame show. It's the daily Collegian UMass men's basketball postgame show. My name is Amin Tori. I'm a one-man show today. Phil Sanzo is back home with his family. Tommy Johnson had to run before we could record, so the floor right now is an active construction site, so I'm just up on like hockey press row at the top of the arena talking to myself like a lunatic, but figured we'd go over UMass's big win over Georgia today. Back-to-back huge wins for UMass after knocking off Providence last week. Last week, Luwan Pipkins had 30 points to sort of lead all scorers. This week, it was a much more balanced scoring attack. I mean, Luwan had 17, Carl Pierre had 15, 12 from Rashawn, 11 from Chris Baldwin, another 10 from CJ Anderson. And we talked about it in the post-game press conference. It was a much more balanced scoring attack because of the way that UMass spaced the floor. This was a huge win for UMass. They really jumped out to a lead. They were up 24-7 within the first few minutes. And it's really interesting to see them sort of after a bit of a rough stretch, losing, I think, 4 games in a row, to take on Providence and Georgia, 2 of their 4 toughest opponents of the season, and beat both of them. Not in close games either, in double-digit wins when they jumped out to huge leads early on. And this team is really showing sort of flashes of potential that I think some of us didn't expect coming into this season. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be a transition year, and suddenly they're knocking off Providence and Georgia. And now the key really, Matt Votor of the Gazette sort of talked about whether that Providence win would be a high point or a springboard for things to come. And I think that question applies today too. Because if UMass can take these big wins over quality teams like Providence and Georgia, NCAA tournament teams. I mean, Georgia got votes in the top 25 poll last week. They can take that and use that as momentum, as a springboard into the conference slate. This team could do some real damage. So, it was just a real good all-around performance from UMass. The three-point shooting was unbelievable. They were 12 for 22 today, 54% from 3. Carl Pierre was 5 of 7. All of his made shots today were threes. He was unbelievable. Luwan Pipkins, as usual, 3 for 4, including probably my favorite play of the day when he sized up Deontay Mayton and just kind of took him to task, hit him with a crossover, and nailed a 3. It was just an all-around really impressive performance. Early in the second half, they ran into a little bit of trouble, some foul trouble. They lost some of the energy in the building, and then after that play from Pipkins and 5 straight points from CJ Anderson with a few minutes left, they really seized control of the game again. So, real impressive win from UMass here today. They'll be back on Wednesday. They'll be back here at the Mullen Center against Georgia State before they pack up the non-conference slate against Maine on Friday. After that, I think they head to St. Bonaventures to kick off the A-10 schedule, and that's where things get really fun. So we're heading into winter break now. The Collegian will still be around for a lot of these games. We'll have writers on Wednesday, on Friday, almost all the home games here in Amherst. We're making the drive because it's not like we have anything better to do. So we have everyone covered for all the games, even during break, as we head into the conference slate. So thanks for listening to the people out here must think I'm crazy just talking to myself. Thanks for listening to my one-man show of a daily Collegian postgame show. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back on Wednesday when UMass takes on Georgia State.